do not know this, but I have a wish list of people that I would love to interview, and Rhymefest happens to be on that list. So it is such a privilege and an honor to be here with you right now.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
No problem. He has accomplished some amazing things in his career. He's a Grammy Award winner. He's a political figure in Chicago. He's a rapper, a producer, and he's also a radio personality. Out of all of those accomplishments, was there one from that list that I just gave you that you were hesitant about pursuing?
Hesitant. Yeah, all of them. Because, you know, I don't know that I would say hesitant. I would say people tried to dissuade me from all of them.
Okay.
So it's like when you talk about, man, I'm going to do music, I'm going to be a rapper, you know what I mean? Or I'm going to write raps, you know? People like, man, there's a million rappers out there, you know, what's going to make you different? When you say, you know, I'm going to run for office, people are like, oh, man, you run for office, they're going to come after you and throw your business in the street. Don't do that. You'll never win. You know, when you say, man, I'm going to go on the radio. Man, there's so many kids going to radio and ain't no money in radio, you know. So everything that I've ever tried to do, people or obstacles have tried to push me away from it. But that journey that I'm telling you about is no different than anybody else's journey. But the only way, I think, to be great at anything is to believe in possibilities and not probability. I'm a possibilities guy, not a probabilities guy.
You have been friends with Kanye since you were teenagers. So this has been, you guys go way, 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 way back. Talk about you all's chemistry when you all get together and you collaborate, from Jesus Walks to now his current album, Yeezus, that just recently dropped. You have 4 tracks on there. Talk about your chemistry when you all get together.
It's conversational, and it is a think tank. That's the best way I can describe it, is a think tank where we're bouncing ideas and where, you know, conversation leads to music.
Okay.
And I mean, and it's friendly, you know, it's not even friendly, it's brotherly, because what you find, at least within that crew, in my perception, is that we do a lot of arguing, and a lot of it almost coming to blows.
Oh, wow.
But through that, music is made.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you have to have, I'm sure, a favorite track on that particular album. Can you tell us what it is?
On the new album?
Yes, on the new album.
Yeah, you know, I don't really get into favorites, right? Because this month, Blood on the Leaves could apply to my life.
Okay.
Next month, I Am a God could apply to my life. You know what I mean? And I believe that we have to stop, as people, I believe we have to stop having, like, definites. Like, this is my favorite food. This is my favorite thing. Because once you get into that, it's like you're negating the beauty of everything else. Okay. I'm not that dude.
All right.
But I think the album is dope. Okay. I think that, you know, anybody that says, man, that album weak, I'm like, okay, I received that, but then I would say, in comparison to what? You know what I mean? Like, in comparison to what now is greater?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And if you can't name nothing, you ain't.
From what I've read, a lot of comparison isn't so much being done outside from others, but from his previous projects. People are going back to the College Dropout. They're going back to the last album, and they're kind of comparing it going back within his own career and
within his own catalog. Yeah. Well, you know, I look at it like this. You can have your personal preference, but you know what's interesting? I think, you know, and I've been with Kanye through all of his projects. When I look at the critiques that come out during when he first drops it, people always say, this was better than that. But then months later, they name that and be like, that was better than this new stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you look at the underratedness of Dark Twisted Fantasy or Late Registration, right?
Right.
These were all projects that they were like, Graduation was better than this, or College Dropout was better than that. But now they're like, I like Dark Twisted Fantasy better than this. You know what I mean? So Kanye lives so far in the future that it seems as though the projects don't catch up to people until the future. So what has to happen is when Kanye releases a project, it's interesting. After 808 Heartbreaks, I saw Drake, and Big Sean, and all these artists pop up in the same vein of like J. Cole and all these Kanye Westish sounding artists pop up after every one of his releases. So now, when we're talking about New Slaves, when we're talking about Black Skinhead or I'm a God, he switches the conversation to something else, right? The conversation is switched to Black Power, individual freedom, you know what I mean? Things like this. Now you're going to find new artists that are going to pop up with the strength to say that now that Kanye has shifted the conversation. And then those artists will say, man, that Yeezus, boy, that's what inspired me to be like this. And then the public will catch up. And that's usually historically how it's happened with Kanye.
I agree. You spoke about J. Cole, and I'm curious to know your opinion. His sophomore album, he says that he wants to drop it on the same day that Kanye drops his album. And he says, in all respect, that he's doing it because, again, he respects Kanye, but he's not going to back down from a challenge. What are your views on J. Cole being somewhat of the new kid on the block doing that? How do you feel about that?
In all honesty, it's for record sales, right? So you go out and you're going to buy Yeezus. Everybody's going to go buy Yeezus. And you be like, oh, there's Born Center. You know what I mean? And Yeezus, Born Center, okay, I'll just get both of them. So now J. Cole is automatically going to sell more records than if he would have dropped it on any other day. So it's really a business strategy. You know what I'm saying? It's a, you know, I'm going to couple mine with Kanye to kind of latch on to his momentum rather than coming out by myself and I'm not as popular as Kanye, so who's going to just go get a J. Cole album, you know? So I sell more records automatically. I won't sell. Now, everyone knows he's not going to sell as much as Kanye West is, but it's a strategy that people use in the industry.
All right. I never looked at it like that, so I like that take.
That's why I'm here to educate people on what really happens.
Right.
And why.
And before we shift off of Kanye, because we've been doing a lot of talking about him, he recently became a dad. And I know that you are. What kind of advice, if any, have you given him? Because, again, you guys have been friends for a long time about, you know, being a new parent. And have you met his daughter yet? Have you had a chance to meet her?
No, I haven't met his daughter yet because after the Yeezus album was done, you know, everybody kind of returned to their corners, you know. And, you know, he has to have time to deal with his family, just him in his space. And so, you know, I haven't pushed it, but we've talked. And we've talked, and he's happy. He's in a new space.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.